please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
So the next 30 minutes, but first let's start with a check of today's trading action. Markets recovered in the last hour of trade after a weak start to the session. So Nifty managed to reclaim that 10,400 mark after breaching the level on an intraday basis. Sensex ended almost flat with a little bit of a negative bias. Broader markets outperformed today with mid-caps and banks gaining about 0.5%. As always, let's bring in Anuj Singhal to decode the day's trade further for us. Anuj, bulls very clearly fought back in the last hour. But, you know, how is the rally looking for bulls in the long term?
Well, good day for the bulls today, and I say that because even though the Nifty ended in the red and so did the Sensex, there was big recovery led by the banks, and today was a day the market could have easily gone down about 100 points on the Nifty. It chose not to do that, in fact recover all of the lost ground. The UP bipole was really the market's worst fear come true, and still the market moved on. Mid-caps outperformed, of course. The advanced decline was quite decent, so things were looking good. Banks had a powerful short covering move, especially the beaten down ones. SBI, ICICI and Axis, they led that move in the bank Nifty. Other Nifty gainers included Tech Mahindra, Ambuja Cement and Maruti. On the losing end, though, you had some big names like IOC, which is going ex-bonus tomorrow, HPCL, HDFC and ITC, and Bharti and Tata Steel. It was a day of PSU banks, though, led, of course, by the usual suspect, IDBI Bank, up about 12%. OBC, Syndicate Union were the other big gainers. And towards the end, there was some big buying in high beta names. JP Associates, Dish TV, Sun TV, you could perhaps add United Spirits as well. Big buying in a lot of mid-caps or sort of non-indexed large-cap names in trade. All in all, the market has respected the lows. Will be interesting to see if at higher levels there is some resistance which is back.
Okay, Rajesh, fair enough. Thanks for taking us through that. Now, that other top story this evening, the government today got the Lok Sabha to approve the budget for the upcoming fiscal without any discussion. The Finance Bill 2018, which basically highlights the government's tax proposals, as well as the Appropriation Bill that contains details of various government departments' spendings, were passed by a voice vote. This amid uproar by the opposition parties. They have criticised the government, accusing it of trying to pass the Finance Bill without discussion. Let's bring in Rituparna Bhuyan, who was tracking this from morning. Ritu, there are as many as 21 amendments and 3 new clauses in the Finance Bill. Take us through the key highlights that stand out and that we need to remember.
Well, unprecedented scenes in Lok Sabha in the past 8 days of this session. Not much business has been conducted, and that perhaps forced the government to take this unprecedented step. Firstly, of deciding to club all the demand for grant proposals, which basically relates to expenditure of the government, and this process is known as a guillotine process. So everything was passed in one go through a voice vote, and then secondly, without any discussion, the Finance Bill, which has the tax and the revenue proposals of the government for the budget, that was passed. 21 amendments were included in that. There was no discussion, and from what we have been told, one of the amendments is related to basically grandfathering of unlisted of unlisted shares as far as LTCG is concerned. And secondly, you also have an amendment which basically ensures that PPF of a defaulter will not be confiscated or attached even if he defaults. But net, as I said, this is very, very rare to actually see budget discussion, especially the Finance Bill being passed without any discussion. I asked around and was told that perhaps only once this has happened before. But net, what has now happened is that the budget process, which was started on 1st of February by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley when he stood up to present the budget, that ended formally today. With that, it's back to you.
Okay, Ritu, thanks for taking us through that. Now, the Indian economy is set to revert to its trend growth rate of 7.5% by the year FY19, says a World Bank report. But it also adds that attaining a growth rate of 8% plus will require several structural reforms. The report also goes on to say that India needs to clock a growth rate of 8% plus for next 30 years in order to even become a middle-income country. So, is India making the move in that very direction? Ronaja Banerjee caught up with Junaid Kamal Ahmed of World Bank to find out just that.
The report rightly points out for India to sort of catapult itself to the middle income status country, we need to grow at 8% plus for a period of 30 years. Is there anything you've seen so far in the last year, 2 years that gives you the hope that perhaps 8% in the long run could be a possibility?
I think the basis for the 8% growth rate for the future is being established today. You see the type of infrastructure investments that are happening, not just only in terms of capital expenditure, but in terms of trying to create new institutions. So the whole EDFC, the freight corridors that are being created, these did not exist before. It's actually taking freight along very special types of institutions. So investment in infrastructure is extremely important. We're also seeing a reflection and a revisiting of how to reform the electricity utilities. Clearly, India's shift towards renewable energy can only be sustained if its electricity distribution system is also improved. So the Uday system and other reforms that are happening become extremely important in that structural shift. We're beginning to see the whole financial inclusion in terms of use of technology, in terms of bank accounts, being able to deliver services of social protection to people. All these create a foundation where, as India moves people out of poverty into an arena of vulnerability, you begin to create protections.
And this will, of course, have a gestation period.
It will have a gestation period, but your question was, am I seeing anything that's putting in the seeds for the future?
It's important to clarify, just in case viewers think that, after 2 years we're going to see 8% growth. What's also interesting, the report brings out how synchronized India is and how well entrenched the Indian economy is with the global economy, and perhaps this is one aspect which is largely underappreciated in this country. Considering that India's exports is stagnating and in fact declining, which I think is a worrying trend, what does it now mean in the context of the inward-looking policies we're seeing around the world, especially coming from the West? Does that sort of make India's exports more vulnerable?
I think there are two very important factors that we need to think through. One is GST. GST is creating an internally unified market. And if there's investment that follows the GST trend in terms of infrastructure, so movement of goods and people internal to the country improves, you're going to see a growth boost from internal trade that's extremely important. And because this infrastructure investment is related to how ports function, how rails function, the intermodal connection, you'll see that the connections between the world and India and its efficiency will increase. So there's quite a big boost that India will pick up from following up in terms of GST. In terms of the global story, I'm absolutely in agreement with you that it is important to keep global trading systems open. We really cannot sustain economic growth anywhere in the world unless global trading markets are open. And I think we from the World Bank will continue to take that message forward.
In fact, talking of global trade, former RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan says that we have not seen the end of trade and tariff wars just yet. In an exclusive conversation with Lata Venkatesh, Rajan added that USA's trade imbalance with China has not been addressed as yet, and until then, he would not rest easy. Here's an excerpt.
Given the recent news on Tillerson, it's very hard to predict what this administration will do, both for the good and the unpredictable. My worry is that the big issue, which is the trade imbalance with China, hasn't been addressed as yet. And there are measures that are floating through Washington, especially using Section 301 on unfair trade practices, which are still to be seen. And those have to do with intellectual property and so on, issues which are very dear to the Chinese heart. So my worry is that we haven't seen the end of this process yet. In fact, we may be at an early stage, and there is more to come. So I would not hold my breath saying, I would not rest easy saying that we're done. I think there's more to come.
Welcome back. On to the big national headline of the day. The BJP is staring at a huge setback in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar by-polls. The SP-BSP alliance is heading towards victory in UP, with the Samajwadi Party leading on both Gorakhpur and Phulpur seats. In Bihar, RJD is leading in Araria Lok Sabha by-poll. In fact, Prabhakar Kumar joins in now from Patna. Prabhakar, you've been tracking this all day today. How is the mood in Bihar's capital, and does it look like we are going to see the alliance take precedence?
Exactly. It has been a big setback for NDA here in Bihar. The three by-poll seats were happening, two the Vidhan Sabha seats and one for the Lok Sabha seat, the Araria Lok Sabha seat. Though the result has not been declared, but RJD has a clear lead over there. And as far as the Vidhan Sabha seats are concerned, one has gone to BJP, that is the Bhabua Vidhan Sabha seat, the Bhabua Assembly seat, and the other one, the Jahanabad, has gone into the RJD tally. So actually, out of the two has gone to RJD. So indeed a big setback for NDA here in Bihar. Nitish Kumar, remember, is the new alliance partner of NDA. He was there with NDA long before, but then he played with RJD to make an alliance here and form a government here. Now, after this breakup, it is seen as a big setback for Nitish, and also a referendum on his style of governance here in Bihar.
Okay, Prabhakar, thank you so much for getting us those details. And of course, we will keep updating our viewers with the latest updated numbers from those by-poll elections. Moving on, and here's the latest from Court Corner. A CBI special court has discharged Kalanidhi and Dayanidhi Maran in the illegal telephone exchange case. Remember, Dayanidhi Maran was accused of having installed a private telephone exchange at his residence to facilitate illegal uplink of Sun TV data, causing losses to BSNL and MTNL. Jude Sanath caught up with the former telecom minister Dayanidhi Maran. Hear out what he had to say on the verdict.
You have said in the past that the ordeal that you have faced has been a trial by media. It has been one of the more trying times in both your life and your career. Here is your opportunity to present your side of the story for our viewers. What exactly is your side, and where do you feel you have been unjustly done by?
See, I would like to state that in both the cases, the Justice Department found that this case is not fit to go for trial. Do understand that what does it mean? It means this case is so weak, they lacked evidences, they just foisted on us just to defame us, just to put us in trouble, and to ensure that our party also gets a bad name. It was pure professional jealousy, political jealousy, and all this has fallen apart. Today, in the second case, today's judge said it is not fit for trial. It's not fit. There's no material for trial. It's a big blow to the CBI because they acted on the political masters to file false cases. And in fact, I would also say that what happened, certain people started to exaggerate, sensationalize the whole issue. It's just that to make that people feel that, oh, look at this case is about several thousand crores. Then it came to 700 crores. Then it came to 300 crores. Then it came to 1.2 crores. And now nothing is there. And that's what I've been saying from day one.
But so, you've been leveling these accusations against the CBI. You've also called their political masters equally responsible. But who exactly do you mean when you say political masters? Is this a direct accusation against the BJP government?
All I can say is that it has passed several hands. There are certain individuals, just to satisfy certain people's ego, this case for Westerners, to satisfy certain business interests, this case is for Westerners. But today, I'm happy. The media or anyone never gave me an opportunity to say my side of the story. What is the truth? They only wanted the sensational part of it, the accusation part of it. In the courts, I had my turn. We were able to express and in detail what is the truth. The honorary judges found the truth. And my belief on the Justice Department, justice has prevailed.
Okay, that was an exclusive interview with Dayanidhi Maran. We will take a very short break, but up next, Shiv Sena MP and member of the Parliamentary Panel on Defence reacts on the deposition of Vice Chief of Army State. Details when we return. Welcome back. You're watching After the Bell on CNBC TV18. Ignoring the Vice Chief of Army's testimony to Parliamentary Panel will be a betrayal to the nation. Strong comments from BJP's partner in the NDA, Shiv Sena, a day after CNBC TV18 first reported on the explosive deposition made by the army to lawmakers. Now, the vice chief of the army had told parliamentarians that budget dashed their hopes and also revealed that it leaves the army with a capital shortfall of over a whopping 12,000 crore rupees. Reacting to this, Sanjay Raut, Rajya Sabha MP from Shiv Sena and a member of the parliamentary panel, asked the government to take this issue seriously.
फंड तो कम है, ये सच है, और आज तो हमारे आर्मी के उपसेना प्रमुख ने भी कहा है उस बारे में कि हमारे पास जो हथियार है, सामग्री है, उसमें से 70% सामग्री है जो सेना के पास है, वो म्यूजियम में रखने के लायक है। यह अपने आप में बहुत कुछ बताता है। जो सेनापति फील्ड पर है, जो सैनिक फील्ड पर है, चाइना और पाकिस्तान के बॉर्डर पे है, ये अगर उनके मन की बात है तो प्रधानमंत्री को, रक्षा मंत्री को, वित्त मंत्री को और राष्ट्रपति को भी ये बात अगर गंभीरता से वो नहीं लेते हैं तो देश के साथ विश्वासघात है।
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of After the Bell. Many thanks for watching.